Okay, so you go back a year ago, the Chiefs, some question marks going on into the season at wide receiver. Kelsey gets a little banged up before the season. What's his face? Kadarius Toney's gonna do? What's Sky Moore gonna do? What's this guy gonna do? They lose, Marcus Valdes-Scantling, all this stuff, and it looked like the Chiefs were not gonna go very far in the playoffs. They still end up winning the division, but the whole question mark came into, can Mahomes win on the road in the playoffs? Because the only time he's on the road is the Super Bowl and this and that. He goes into Buffalo. They get by Buffalo. Then they upset against the Ravens in Baltimore. And then they go down to Las Vegas again, where, that Chiefs fan buried the Chiefs flag underneath the stadium. And they come in, they win one of the most exciting Super Bowls of recent history. Longest one, might I add there. But yes, Mahomes and company, back-to-back Super Bowl winners. The first time a back-to-back Super Bowl winner has been crowned since the Patriots in 2003 into 2004. And this team is looking to become the first NFL team to ever three-peat a Super Bowl. And we've seen in other sports, the Islanders for hockey, the Lakers in basketball. But yeah.
There's a lot more hockey teams you could have listed off there.
I think so.
I was like Edmonton was on there, and
two and two.
Yeah,
they never three-peated.
But then you have like all the original 6 teams too.
Yeah, I forgot Montreal won like 17 in a row because they were the only team playing.
No, they had like a 4 in a row after. Expansion.
Yeah,
I was just kind of listing off like the most recent teams here.
I mean, you have the Bills.
Yeah, they 4-peat lost, so
in the Bills way possible.
Yeah,
but looking at the offense here, they get their speedy guy on offense. They get Xavier Worthy. They bring in Hollywood Brown. Question marks if Hollywood Brown's could be available to play week 1 because he suffered a weird injury that's only seen in car crashes. So it's kind of a weird way of going about his shoulder collarbone injury, however that was. Then you have Rashee Rice, who had that weird incident in Dallas where, it was a hit and run. He ran away from the car. So that's still trying to be resolved. But they bring back in Juju Smith-Schuster, who was really good for them the very first Super Bowl run that they had back, 2 years ago. Mecole Hardman returns. He was the savior of the franchise, catching the game-winning touchdown. Then you kind of got some question marks at the offensive line. Left tackle, I forgot who they had there last year. Oh, Donovan Smith, Mr. Hold, Mr. Jump guy, get 3 steps on, before the snap gets off. But they bring in Kingsley from BYU to be the blindside guy for Mahomes. So Mahomes, Kelsey, Taylor Swift, Pacheco. And let's see if the newcomers can do anything. Worthy, Hollywood Brown. Also, how can I forget here? The rookie of the year. You don't even need to look it up anymore. Carson Steele, undrafted guy, fullback. Man's going to do a lot of wonders this year. Yeah, my rant's over.
I knew you were getting the Carson Steele. It's bad that I knew you were going to end with that.
I was actually going to hype him up to begin with.
I know you this much.
I was going to hype him up to begin with. They have, a man who's playing the preseason, a lot of highlights about him. You see him all over Twitter and Facebook. It's Carson Steele.
I should have muted you before you said it because I knew, I just know you from doing these podcasts over the years with you. I knew you couldn't help yourself but talk about Carson Steele. God almighty.
Roy.
Roy, you drive me nuts. You drive me nuts, dude. I'll give you that. But yeah, I mean, this team, from the talks of having no wideouts to there's weapons for him now. That's kind of been the talk the last few years is, who's he throwing the ball to outside of Kelsey? Oh, he's got guys he's throwing the ball to now. So,
who's that idiot on ESPN?
All of them.
The guy that I absolutely hate.
I'll just say which one.
All of them. Every single person who
the fantasy guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't.
Clay.
Listen, these fantasy people, listen. I only know Matthew Berry. And there's no one.
It's Eric Carabella, something like that. ESPN released this post of people you should not draft in fantasy, and that this guy put 20 players on there, like Aaron Rodgers, players that weren't even that bad. He put Mahomes on there too. Make sure you don't draft Mahomes in fantasy.
You took the clickbait then. Oh, you took the clickbait down.
Oh, no, because it wasn't even the front page. Mahomes was like the 5th person like that you had to scroll to. Like it wasn't even that. And I'm like, bro, what?
You got ESPN that just throw click on it.
Like,
if Matthew Berry was still employed by Disney, this would have never happened. Because whatever Matthew Berry advises you to do in fantasy, you do the exact opposite. That's why he finishes with 1 win every year in fantasy, because it's awful advice every freaking year.
What I was gonna say though is like I look at this team, and not to mention like you draft Mahomes every year if you can, no matter what, whatever. But like you look at this receiving core, and it's like, why would you like? These are dudes that are gonna succeed. Maybe not on other teams, but on this team, they're going to succeed. Mahomes is going to get the ball to dudes on this team. Like this is 7 deep right here of guys that could all play well for Mahomes. I don't know.
Needs to get out of there still, but
he's had good games, but it's just like crazy.
Kadarius Toney just drafted in 2022. That's really all it is.
He's not on the team anymore. But it's just like, what do you expect from this team? Pacheco, you have it's all there, and maybe the receiving core got deeper and they'll use dudes all over the place. It's just good. I don't know. What do you want? They'll win a Super Bowl. Whatever. That's how I feel about it.
Wins.
See, when you said Carson Steele, that's where I thought you were going.
I thought so
when you were doing that build-up, I thought you were trolling me.
Yep.
Oh, no. See, I thought you guys would have known this by now. I knew exactly where he was going. I saw the name. I'm like, this random guy we've never mentioned, an undrafted guy this year going through the rosters. Yet I knew Will was going there. It's a shame you guys.
Listen, you make a highlight reel with him trucking over people. Like, like you get a plus in my book there. Him, Ben Sinnott, the entire tight end class. Like, yeah.
All right. Moving on to the defense.
Yeah,
or just moving on to the schedule.
Moving on. And on defense there, L'Jarius Sneed, he's no longer there. He gets traded to the Titans. He gets paid by the Titans. They didn't really get much for him. Only a 3rd-round pick and I think another mid-round pick. But, yeah, they didn't make any moves on defense for free agency. They ended up losing Willie Gay Jr., L'Jarius Sneed, as I mentioned, Mike Edwards. But another person, if you want to consider him on defense, though, they add Matt Araiza, and they do not re-sign Tommy Towson. So if Araiza is on the field, whether he is on the field for them having the punt, they got the best punter prospect of all time, essentially. He could go from end zone to end zone with his legs. So
this is a Madden super team where you just drafting stuff for fun, or you just have players for fun. You just go like this fullback dude, and it's just like, yeah, let's just make him run over people. Yeah, let's get the best punter. Like, just stupid stuff.
Let's throw it behind the back here. Yeah, Madden glitches.
Everything else is good. Everything else is solid. It's fun. You're just having a good time because we're rolling over teams. Whatever. You just like playing Madden. You're just like, whatever. Let me draft a punter. Like, it's just stupid stuff like that. This team's good. That's it.
Drew Tranquil, Nick Bolton, Leo Chanel, McDuffie. Chris Jones is there longer on a big extension. Karl Aftis is now slowly becoming his own. He had a great Super Bowl. Derek Namdi.
Yeah.
Mike Panel. I mean,
the schedule?
I gotta just ask the question here, okay? I know I usually would say what will make this team successful, but this would be very idiotic of me to say as I'm getting yelled at by TikTok with their bullshit ass freaking stuff here. Telling me, oh, you guys aren't active. Meanwhile, we've been talking and sliding through this stuff. So the question here is, do the Chiefs have what it takes to become the first ever three-peat? We've seen multiple back-to-back winners, Cowboys and Steelers, the Packers, the first 2 Super Bowls, the Patriots, the Niners. Do the Chiefs have what it takes to become the first back-to-back Super Bowl, three-peat Super Bowl winner?
Yes. They have every opportunity to do it. The fact that now they actually have weapons for Mahomes again, like, yes, this team could definitely do it.
Yep. It's a
AFC is loaded. Like, their division isn't good, so they could take a full advantage of their division and possibly sweep the division, which is huge for them.
This schedule's kind of gnarly to start, though. The first half is kind of crazy.
It doesn't matter, though.
No, it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, like you play the Ravens, okay. You get to play Joe Burrow, which we should have seen last year, but injury.
They lose because he always
play prime time. You get primetime Kirk Cousins, then you go against the Chargers week 4, 425. Then you play the Saints.
Not easier the rest of the year.
Super Bowl rematch. I mean, they've already went to Levi Stadium and they have already lit up the 49ers. I mean, they're just going to end up probably doing it again.
They'll lose. The Niners always have their regular season.
Yeah,
this is
that's a loss regular season.
God,
Niners regular season champs.
I still think this is a 13-14 win team. Like,
oh yeah. Well, last year was only 11-6. Remember, so like,
I mean, now that you have Mahomes with actual like weapons and stuff, and it's not like, oh my God, is Mahomes going to do it? Now you have like a brand new receiving core, and he's just going to be like, oh hey, I'm going to throw between the legs this time, and I'm going to throw it 75 yards down the field, which is probably going to end up happening.
He's got to punt the ball, and they're going to get it back for a touchdown.
He's going to do the Brady and the Roethlisberger, just punting it downfield on third
just
and
fun, just because they're having fun winning everything.
God.
I'm telling you, Madden Super Team.
I have 3 losses.
I don't know. I say they lose week 18 because at that point they're just going to rest their starters. Like,
okay. 4.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I think the only brutal stretch is having to play a Saturday game against the Texans. Then you got to play Christmas Day, like 4 days later against the Steelers. So that's like
they cannot even play the Steelers. Well,
that's the most difficult stretch. Oh, and they're on the road against the Steelers too.
They might be 3-4 wins ahead of second place in this division anyway.
It could be like 5 or 6 again.
I mean, like
yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no point to even doing this right here.
They might start resting their starters halfway through that Steelers game. I don't know. It's like whatever.
Yeah,
they're good. They're really good, guys. That's that.
How many primetime games do they got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
17.
They got like 8 primetime games this year.
Well, I mean, you win the Super Bowl twice, and you show Taylor Swift the other 4 hours of the game. That's what happens. Yeah. That's that Super Bowl right there. Is just showing Taylor.
They showed her for like 75 seconds the entire time,
but it feels like 75 minutes.
Well, oh my God!
Like 2 seconds, one adding up.
I mean, it doesn't even. It like who cares? It's just whatever. It all goes well. I mean, whatever. It's a good team.
Yeah.